Welcome to Squad, your source for everything esports and gaming. We're serving up a 4-course meal of deliciousness. Here's the menu. It's gonna get spicy when Brody and Marissa go head-to-head in Unmuted. Then we're getting a side of the snack himself, Lawler, who's gonna give us advice on how to get good in Rocket League in Tips from the Top. Then we're gonna get a sweet scoop of esports in 30 with a drizzle of Full Bloom 5. But first, you know how it goes. It's time for the appetizer, the news in Reported. Electronic Arts announced yesterday that it is laying off 350 employees. The layoffs will mostly affect those in the operations, marketing, and publishing departments. While the layoffs are happening worldwide, EA said that it would be closing its Russia and Japan offices due to the changes. The layoffs come after a difficult year for the video game industry, which saw many publishers and developers lay off hundreds of workers in order to cut costs. Activision Blizzard laid off 8% of its workforce in February, and ArenaNet let go of a significant number of employees that same month. A report from Kotaku said that layoffs had been expected at EA since October, and that many employees knew that this was coming. Here's hoping all of those laid off find new jobs soon. Mineski is adding 2 players to bulk up its Dota 2 squad. The Filipino Dota 2 team has brought back former players Bimbo and Ninja Boogie to complete its roster. Previously, Mineski dropped its captain, Pilai Dai, and Febby after the team's 9th place finish at the Dream League Season 11 Major. Mineski managed to secure a spot in the upper bracket of that tournament, but quickly fell to LGD Gaming before being eliminated by J-Storm without winning a game. Bimbo and Ninja Boogie both played for Mineski for years, though they each last played for the team in 2017 and 2018 respectively. Ninja Boogie will serve as the team's new captain, and you can check out the new roster when they play in the MDL Disneyland Paris Major qualifiers later this week. In Overwatch Contenders Australia, one team's 24-match win streak has come to an end. The Sydney Drop Bears, and yes, that's an actual team name, lost to Blank Esports in a surprising upset. Blank used innovative team comps such as having a support switch to Widowmaker or Ashe to surprise Drop Bears. The final match score was 3-1 in favor of Blank, with Drop Bears only managing to win Rialto. Prior to this match, the last time Drop Bears lost was all the way back in Contenders Season 2. The team has won every season of Contenders Australia, but now it looks like the players will have their work cut out for them if they want to be champions for the 4th time. Yo, more layoffs? I swear I dumped money into EA hands, everyone did that. So I don't know why they're laying off people. It's a tough time, but hopefully everyone finds jobs. Let us know what you think about these layoffs on our socials. In a bit, we're gonna have Lawler teaching us about wave dashing in tips from the top. But first, let's see what Marissa and Brody are thinking on the top stories we can't stop talking about in Unmuted.
Welcome to Unmuted. We got esports and gaming hot topics to discuss with the best of the biz. JK, it's Mercer, Roberto, and Brody Moore.
Now, the joke's only on you, but hey, if you're new, welcome. This is how the show breaks down. We've got topics on the board at the bottom of your screen and 2 minutes assigned to each one.
At any point in time, if one of us gets out of line, the other may raise their hand just to smash it on this mute button, taking the floor for a full 30 seconds. So, you ready, dummy?
Yes, but you go.
All right. Let's kick off our stories with some Overwatch.
Okay.
Voting for the 2019 Overwatch League All-Star Weekend is now open, and it's happening sooner than you might think. Fans can vote on which players they'd like to see participate in the All-Star Weekend until the end of April. All-Star Weekend itself will be sandwiched in between stages 2 and 3, running from May 15th to the 16th. So, Brody, is this All-Star Esports thing, I don't know, is it exciting to you? Is it ever exciting? Do you watch these? Is it something you will be participating in? Also, I don't understand the voting, why it has to end now when it's taking place between stages 2 and 3. Shouldn't we wait until stage 2?
To see who's good?
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay, so All-Star anything is only good if you have skills competitions. I don't to me, it's not as fun to watch. If you're used to watching top-level gameplay in any esports sport competition of anything, you're used to that level. Now, if you just mix mash people together, it's you're probably not going to get that top-level gameplay anymore.
Yeah.
So what is drawing me to watch this? Sure, it's cool to see how these guys are going to team. You know, do we maybe get to hear comms? That could be fun if they're just chirping each other. Do we get to see them do skills competitions? Then it's exciting. But if it's just them playing regular games, I say no. It just feels like contrived content. We're running out of ideas. Let's have an all-star thing.
Well, they usually have a show match with casters and any of the talent that's there too. When they throw the talent in there, that's usually pretty fun to watch because you get to see their skills in the mix. I would like to see it if they're having or using these all-stars and they're only players. I would really like to see just my previous recommendation of all DPS or all tank, or you know what I mean, change the meta completely so we just see them all tank versus all tank and have those all-stars taking on each other.
Absolutely, or something throwback, Rocket League reference of the day. At one point there was a show match and it was the old iBuyPower team. They got, Gibbs, commentator, threw him back on. They got they put together that old team to see if they still had it and see what that synergy was, right? And then they had me go up there and unplug their controllers and stuff. Something fun, something different. If you're just doing all-stars, nah, man, I'm not going to watch it. Like,
I love that you brought in a story so you could tell a story about yourself participating in something of an All-Star game that you didn't actually participate in.
I have an ego that needs fulfilling, so get over it.
Okay, moving on.
All right. The third season of Oculus and ESL's VR League began last weekend. The competition will see teams from North America and Europe competing across 4 VR games, including Disc Sports, Game Echo, Arena, and Shooter Onward. The season ends in early June, and features $250,000 US prize pool.
Seriously?
250,000 bones.
Really?
US dollars, so that's a lot.
No, I'm not even.
Do you not like VR esports?
I'm not even shocked about the money. I'm shocked that this is a thing. Like,
what?
I don't know why.
To hate? Are you
about
to drop some hate?
Listen, I do enjoy my time in VR when I'm playing certain VR games. I like the simulation games. I love that bartender game that we played, the bartender simulator, or even just
you were
like
so lost in your own
even
world.
that accountant one too. That was so much fun. But those to me aren't esport games, obviously, and they won't be played here. But I just don't understand. I don't know. Like, I guess I have to see if there's a draw for it, what kind of viewership they're going to get.
You're just hating because it's another thing you won't be good at?
No. Okay, Freddie, shut up.
I just have to chirp you. It's in my contract.
No, it's actually not.
No, it's not.
It is contract at all.
I'm just
but
a dick.
I don't, I know you love VR so much, and I want to love it because you love it.
Yeah.
But I just can't.
For me, again, it comes back to like that skills competition thing. Is what is this offering different from other games, right? Now, am I watching just a bunch of people hit a ball back and forth like ping pong? May as well just watch ping pong, right?
Exactly.
What is it adding? Yeah. Now, if that adds different power-ups and modes, something you can't do in real life, then yeah, that's why I watch esports in general, is because it's something you can't do in real life.
Right.
If you can do it in real life, I'm just going to watch that instead.
Which was his sly way of throwing shade on sports esports because you don't like watching sports esports.
But you put it out there.
Yeah, I smell it, Brody. I smell it coming.
So in all reality, if there's something you can do in these games, absolutely. I mean, like some of them are really cool. It's like a space one, you fly around and it's kind of like basketball, but it's like full 3-dimensional because you're floating in space. That's kind of cool. Can't really do that unless you're getting the astronauts at the ISS to play basketball.
I kind of think that esports is already having its moment in the sun, and it's having its moment the way we're playing it right now with controllers. Okay, so let people from the outside looking in understand this part of it first before we jump into the whole VR thing, because it's a whole nother bag of chips that we got to open. They're not ready for the flavor. They're not ready for the flavor. Listen, we got to move on now because fan favorite Dota 2 player Eternal Envy has joined Team. That's a team name, Team. Envy has he was formerly a member of Flying Penguins until it disbanded last week after it lost to Team in the MDL Disneyland Paris Major qualifiers. This is the 4th team Envy has joined since the start of this year's Dota Pro circuit, having also played for Complexity and Infamous. 4 teams in 6 months, Brody. 4 teams in 6 months.
If you can't beat them, join them. That's literally the mantra here.
Like, what do you think of players jumping teams like that? Like, should there be some kind of punishment? Should Envy be, I don't know, like...
Well, I mean, I don't know about punishment, but I feel like he's almost like eventually... And here's the thing. If people really want you and you're really good, you can kind of get away with a bit more. But I'm also now, as a coach or as a team manager, going to be a little bit worried about... Am I keeping you, or do I have to rebuild a new roster in the next month or two? Yeah. And that's a little bit troublesome. And eventually, no matter how much people like you, you might start digging yourself a hole.
100.
To the fact that people are like, I don't want him because he's going to go to the next team that beats us. The second we lose, he's gone.
That's so true. I think Freddie got a lot of sleep last night. He's making a lot of sense today, like more than usual. I 100 agree with you. You're right, because you lose that trust with your team. You lose that trust with people around you when they know you as someone who doesn't really stick with the team or doesn't really go down with the ship if it happens to be going in a certain direction and help them get out of it. That's not right. That's not okay. I feel like you got to fight for your spot, you got to fight for your team, and you got to stick with it. And no, we don't know if there was any divide. We don't know if this makes him maybe not a great team player. Maybe he's not the best person to have in the locker room, so to speak. So I'm not sure, but if he keeps bouncing like this, like, yo, you're going to have like a serious reputation if he doesn't already have one already.
Give me some insight how it works in traditional sports. A player can't just jump around. Right? No, you have buyouts.
Exactly. They have contracts, they get traded, all that stuff. So if this is just like of his own volition, like if he's just like, okay, bye, and there's nothing in the contract that keeps him there, like, first of all, those are like inherent problems with actual orgs, if that's the case. There needs to be, obviously, we already talked about this, like obviously their players
Okay, so now is it his fault or is it the org's fault?
That's what I mean. Like, we don't know because we don't know the inner dealings of this team or this org or any of these orgs.
Who should this be on?
Well, the org has to sign them to a certain deal, so it has to be written in stone. It's got to be in a contract, so to speak, right? And if there's nothing like that in place and he can just bounce around willy-nilly, then how can he be trusted?
Take away the players' rights. You heard it here first.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Moving on, everyone's favorite video game chain that you go to when you're bored at a mall is, of course, investing in esports. It's GameStop, or EB Games elsewhere in the world, has signed a 3-year naming rights deal for Complexity Gaming's new HQ, which will be called the GameStop Performance Center, aptly named. GameStop has also just sponsored Team Envious in Dallas Fuel, where they will help create meet and greet events as well as clinics where fans can play against players.
Okay.
You know, GameStop has had a bit of a rough PR situation with gamers in the past few years.
Yeah,
they've also had a bit of rough of a revenue situation. You see them switching into, you know, plushies and all those pop dolls and whatever.
You know, dude, I have no idea how GameStop still makes money. Like, just
that's what it is.
I have no idea. Even like EB Games here in Canada, like I don't get it at all. I feel like a lot of people are being suckered into those like the insurance you can get for your disc when you buy a disc. Like, yo, that's how they make money from you. Like, you just have to buy a gamer insurance card or whatever it's called, GBGs, I think they are.
Well, they're also
I think it's just like all insidious.
Losing on that because a lot of it's downloads now, right? And and like Sony also announced they're pulling out their downloads from GameStop and that too. So it's like even
this is their response. Like, okay, now we got to go where the money is. It's in esports, you guys. Let's like push all the cards there.
Well,
I feel like EB Games and GameStop has been mismanaged for a very long time. They've got serious issues, serious internal issues from the top trickling all the way down to their employees at the store. Yo, seriously though, like. Listen, I stopped going to GameStop a long time ago because of this. They've just upset me in a lot of different ways, from just their employees to, and honestly, it starts with me going in there with a man and having the person working there not talk to me at all because I'm a girl. That's happened to me several times at several different EB Games. Calling you out right now, I don't appreciate it, especially when I was on a TV show on their screens for a long time talking about video games.
Oh, really?
But no, didn't matter at all. No, girls don't know anything about video games. That's the vibe I got from them walking in there, so obviously I'm a little salty when it comes to EB Games and GameStop, and I don't wish them any success at all.
This message brought to you by GameStop. Really? But, so at the end of the day then, do you think esports is their way to go? Like, do you think this is going to be the redeeming factor for them? Like, are they just, they're eventually going to run their era and be out of there? We're going to see a day without GameStop.
I don't know, because again, these investors need to pour money into these orgs or whatever it is, these teams, right? Yeah. Like, they're not going to see, like, what's the ROI? What's the return on investment? Nothing I have no idea. So I still think they might be playing their cards wrong, but like classic GameStop, I mean, maybe they'll just flush it all in the toilet.
You said it all. You said everything else.
See them anymore. Listen, gamers go to where they feel welcome, and I don't know if that's GameStop or EB Games anymore.
It's here. At Squad
State. It's right here, baby. We welcome you. We're happy to have you. Now, it's time to see what streamers are up to in Clip It.
Nice.
First up is Ludwig, because he was doing some online shopping and needed some recusing.
Gaming gamer girls need no recusing. What does recusing mean? What does this mean in this? Oh, rescue. Oh my God. Okay. Never mind. I'm pretending. I was pretending.
Anytime you make a mistake, just say you're faking it. It's over.
What do you do when you like mispronounce or like misread? I mean, you've had that issue several times.
Well, thanks. Yeah.
No, I've witnessed it. Remember when you couldn't say?
What couldn't I say?
I'm waiting for you to say it.
Or yesterday?
No. Oh. Don't you remember apropos?
Apropos.
Literally, we had to do like 15 to 20 takes with this guy trying to say apropos. It's apropos.
It was way more than 20 takes, I think. It was like I feel bad for everyone else here. That was awful. Let's not talk about my mistakes anymore. Let's move on. The next clip comes from Dr. Disrespect, who decided to take a jab at Shroud. Okay, so I'm a little conflicted here. On one side, that was hilarious. Yeah. On the second side, I'm like, I think he's just making fun of people that ride scooters in the first place. So I don't know if you missed it, but there was one time Shroud was streaming himself trying to buy a scooter, but it was like a $3,000, $4,000 scooter. It's like one of those electric ones. And he's like, which model did I have? Was it this model? And he's like naming off specs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think he's just calling him a nerd there. But
for sure. Listen, I also make fun of people who ride scooters. Just saying, like,
bro, what's wrong?
No, because I ride a skateboard and also an electric skateboard, and at the skate parks, listen, no one likes a scooter kid. You should know that right now.
Nobody likes longboard kids.
That's not true
Scooter
at all.
kids don't like longboard
exactly.
kids.
and longboards don't go to the skate parks because they know their place. You feel?
Bro.
So if you have a skateboard, you go to the skate park. You don't go with a scooter.
What do you feel about people doing parkour at the skate park?
I don't mind that actually.
Oh, really?
I really like hardcore parkour.
Okay, good.
If you can do that, like, hit me up. I want to see that. All right, we gotta move on now. It's our favorite time of day when we gossip about all the things that pros are saying on the Twitters. It's an extra special day when pros put their exes on blast. Uh-oh. Shout out to Street Fighter Pro Knuckle Duke for calling out the ultimate betrayal, tweeting, "My ex and I broke up 2 years ago and she had the audacity to change her Spotify and Netflix passwords today? Ugh, betrayal."
Top 10 anime betrayals of all time.
I'm saying.
No, but
what would Brody Moore do?
What would I do?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how nasty it was.
That's pretty nasty.
At the same time, I can't share my Netflix password to anyone because I'm using my dad's login. So like, I already. Thanks, Dad.
Oh my God,
I can't share it, so you gotta get your own.
This is like peak Brody. Like, this is exactly what he's like. I can't because Daddy pays for everything.
What? No, not everything.
Yo, Daddy straight up pays for everything.
I buy my own McDonald's.
Shout out to Mr. Moore for keeping this guy alive.
Let's go away. In the theme of putting people on blast here, Fox A is calling an R6 Pro Redeemer for the meal of rice and avocado he's stoked about. Fox quotes him and simply notes, "This ain't sushi."
But if you notice the replies underneath here too, like Blue, so Caster Blue, is saying like, yo, that's just rice and cucumber.
It's not even cucumber.
It's not even cucumber. It's like, yo, how do you confuse avocado for cucumber? He's like, they're both green. Like,
fair. Blue can see green, at least.
Okay, so first of all, is this sushi? First of all, I want you to vote 1 in chat right now if you believe that it's sushi no matter what, it doesn't have to have fish in it, and 2, if you believe that it's not sushi, you gotta have fish.
I'm pressing 1 in the chat right now myself, because I just Googled it.
Okay.
And I have the definition. Sushi is a Japanese dish consisting of small balls of rolls of vinegar-flavored cold cooked rice.
Okay.
Served with garnish of raw fish, vegetables, or egg. Now the or implying
yeah,
that the fish is not necessary.
See, that's interesting
It is the
to me,
rice.
because I didn't realize it was the rice. I thought that it had to be the combination of the rice and the seaweed underneath, rolling it.
No, those are rolls. Sushi is just the cold cooked rice with something on top of it.
So do you think Fox is saying then that that's not sushi because it doesn't have the rice with the fish on top of it or anything on top of it, or because it's like actually a maki roll that he is advertising?
I mean, if you just have rice, you just have rice.
It's a roll.
It's got,
yeah,
a roll is also not sushi. A roll is a roll.
So
that is a big
So Fox
misconception.
is right, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
Yes,
so
good job, Fox A.
Okay.
This ain't
All
sushi.
Right. Now we got a real special one, but avert your eyes, children. You'll want to click. Street Fighter player Brutus calls out a Street Fighter compilation vid saying SFB clickbait channels aren't even trying anymore.
Jesus.
Yo, like Drewface actually replied to this though, saying that thumbnail looks toxic.
That's amazing.
That's a play on Britney Spears because she has a song named Toxic.
This is less of an issue with the content creator and more of an issue of the system they have to work in on YouTube.
Oh.
Because that works. That's
up works.
That's what our thumbnail should be. Just like me in a bikini laying sideways.
No one is clicking on that, friend. I can tell you that right now.
I guarantee you that clickbait would work.
You need like a celeb, like they use Britney Spears. And then 2, so somebody called out that guy in his comments, like they went to the video and called him out. And he was saying, no, he put him there because like Britney has made an ultimate comeback. Like that's why he used Britney.
It was relevant. You're stretching.
I know, full on stretching. Like, sorry, you could have used a different photo, just like straight up. It could have just been a regular Britney photo, not scandalously like spread. And yet here we are.
You are reaching, my friend.
Yeah.
All right, time to move on. It's time for crowd control. We got all the best posts from around the web. I want to call out Nona real quick here because I'm really curious if she can make something like Reddit user The Pious has. This looks tasty.
Wait. Does he make more pies because his name is
I'm
Pius?
gonna go with yes.
Yes, he
and
must.
we can do that research
or she
later.
must. I don't want to make
That's
assumptions.
fair. What I do like is that the Goomba is being forced to watch his master being devoured. Straight up toxicity.
And like, Toad's there too. Toad's kind of just always there, hey?
So if so, where's our Bowser pie?
So my nonna in Toronto is not a pie maker. She's a tiramisu maker. Like she'll make you a nice cake or like sponge cake. She does that. But my nonna in Saskatoon makes a delicious apple pie. But I don't know if she can do the topping like that. She does like basic. That's like serious top tier artistry right there. And I don't know if Nana wants to spend time on that. She preferred to just make all the food and for you to eat all the food. I don't think she cares about
You know what?
Decorating in that way.
Regardless.
What?
And now I'm calling you out.
What?
Where's our smorgasbord of samples from
Oh, samples. Okay, I thought you were going to tell me to get into the kitchen and start baking.
No!
Okay, it's fine. Because then we would have had a moment.
I am.
All right, time to move on. Since Brody has had dumb, gross Pikachus in the past 2 days, we need to lighten it up with something cuter, like this fan drawing of Kirby.
Javated! Javated! Look at that!
Okay, so like for you that don't know, Brody produces this segment of the show, so he straight up just debated me because he gave me this. He didn't show me this at all. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna throw to a cute photo of Kirby. That's not cute." By the way, what you showed me last time, that disgusting display of Pikachu, I had a nightmare.
Did you?
Full-on nightmare.
It's working.
Like I can't talk about it without.
Can you do it?
No, because I start gagging. But like it was like, oh, I can't. It was like some kind of praying mantis.
Get through it, Marissa.
It was some kind of praying mantis looking thing with like that kind of face, and like it was wearing a hat for some reason. I have no idea why. But then everyone in the dream had decided it was a cockroach. But then like it was like out on its own, like out in the streets, like Detective Pikachu would be, and like a dog tried to like eat it, and then like. Sorry,
Marissa,
spit it out. I can't do these photos anymore. They seep into my subconscious, and I dream about them.
You talk about my diet, and I feel like yours is affecting your mental health.
No, it's not. I can't deal with these photos, man. I'm sorry.
I promise you, I won't have any more. Yeah. But right now, we have one more for Crowd Control, then it's home time. Remember how we talked about some of those big maps and how big they're getting now? Well, YouTuber Enigma decided to walk the 2 hours it takes to get across the GTA 5 map and time-lapsed it for us.
Jeez.
Yeah, so this is great. So a nice bit of time.
I thought you were.
And this is what I talked about maps. Like maps can be big as long as they're full of stuff.
Yeah.
And this time lapse I think does a really, really good job of just setting the atmosphere of this area.
Cool.
Yeah. Like
this is very cool.
Now I will admit the back half of the video, you can watch the whole thing on his YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
But the back half of it is 4.5 minutes long, even time lapse. That's how big this map is. The back half is out in the country, and there was less there. I don't know. I imagine the editing. The walking part was 2 hours. We know that.
Yeah.
But the actual editing, I guarantee you, that took absolutely forever.
Oh my God, yeah. Dang, thank you so much for that. Like, see, I love when people spend the time to make these things for us to enjoy, even if they're just for moments. Because really, like, think all the time you poured into that, and then we just saw it for like 2 seconds. We're like, hey, thanks, bye.
Well, I ended up watching the whole thing because the music was chill. Okay. You just felt the atmosphere.
Yeah.
The day and night change as well, showing the day-night system in the game. I think it was a really cool way just to show off that a game like, and this is, despite any of their flaws, Rockstar makes incredibly dense games. Like they make games that have depth to them, that you can play. There's still communities playing it, and now especially with the role-playing communities. Rockstar makes really, really cool in-depth games.
No, I agree. I need to get into the role-playing thing because I obviously love anything GTA.
Maybe we'll do that in the green room.
Okay. I would love that. Listen, Brody Moore, we gotta go, and you're gonna be gone for a couple days.
I am. Bye.
But I'm gonna miss yelling at you and calling you dummy.
That's real. You'll probably send me a lot of Instagrams though.
No, I won't.
Or yelling at me.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let us know who you think won the battle today. Type Brody in the chat for me. Brody!
And Marissa in the chat for Brody. We'll see you next time. Until then, hit the follow button and find our socials at Squad State.
Tip and trick for you guys, Rocket League coming in hot. Best thing I can do, one of the most important things is your recovery. the ability to, after a play, carry your momentum through the rest of the play to enable you to either get back in positioning faster or what have you. A really easy way to do that is with wave dashing. It's a mechanic that basically what you're doing is rather than jumping forward and using the animation of flipping forward, you're canceling that and sliding that momentum through on the ground so you can then jump again earlier. The best way to do it is when you're coming down off of a wall, so there's that slope. Rather than staying on that, you jump off of it and then save your second jump, so when you hit it, you jump and aim a direction while holding your power drift or your drift key, usually X by default, and then A to jump if you're on Xbox. And then after you slide, you jump again immediately after that in a dodge, like a forward dodge roll, and that'll allow you to recover way faster to get back onto defense. It's a really good way to do it if you're in a defensive rotation where your player is at the front post trying to make a save. You can slide right in behind him, slide in those DMs, make that clutch save if he's not able to get it.
I love absorbing all that knowledge on how to get good in Rocket League. If you have any tips, let us know on our socials. In a bit, we're gonna have Brody and Drew talk Full Bloom 5, but first, let's check out what went down in the green room, fueled by Red Bull.
He is the smartest fighter.
Krillin's so underrated, and he has the best power out of everybody's power. Destructo Disc is objectively the best. Objectively the best.
And punching out his lead.
If it hits anything, it actually cuts through anything.
Yeah. Well, also in Tournament of Power, right?
Yeah.
Like he created a
Correct.
hole in the actual stage, right? Like he thinks differently when he's fighting. But I can't remember what episode it was, but he wasn't even able, I think it was the androids, he made a comment, he wasn't able to see the fight happening.
Yeah, but then he sees it.
But then he sees it, and now we're in Super, and you're telling me everyone's fighting on such a high level, he could see that play?
Yeah, well, I mean, they got good. They
I don't
got
know.
really good.
Krillin didn't get that good, let's be honest. He did not get that good.
A lot of Krillin.
I'm sorry.
Krillin,
there's a reason why I'm not wearing a Krillin.
In my love life, I try to be Krillin. AKA punch out my league and still make her happy. That's what Krillin is.
Oh, but okay. I know Krillin is the strongest Earthling.
I believe it's Mr. Satan.
That's right.
Zane with the down tilt into a
tips. Oh my god, and Zane is your Full Bloom 5 winner!
I've got the dig deep.
Oh my god, it's worth it! And he stood up knowing that that was gonna be it with the handshake.
Welcome to Esports in 30. I'm Brody Moore, and it's Wednesday, which means my friend Drew Face is chilling here with me. Drew, the FGC never sleeps. What went down this weekend?
Man,
Everything
went down, man. We got Smash action, we got Street Fighter action. It's 24/7, baby. We got events in New Jersey and we got events in Asia. It's crazy out here.
Yo, now, is there too many events going on?
Nah, bro. There's just too many games out, and that's why there's too many events.
Okay, so do we need more?
Oh, definitely, we need more. I love fighting games. I want more fighting games, baby.
All right.
But you know what happened? Mars is the greatest.
Mars is legit, and I'm glad you brought that up, because today we're focusing on everything Full Bloom 5. Before we bring in a friend to chat the event with us, let's check out some Smash Ultimate highlights.
Oh, that was, oh my god, he took everything, he threw out all the Pokemon he could.
I definitely thought he had the maximum juke right there, but yeah, that Flavorance bouncing off the ledge, that just did not help him at all.
Oh my god!
For sure.
This is looking a lot better. Give me the loop. Game 1 for Yeti, but as I say that, he getting looped on. Oh my god, he got looped on, and then he was off stage, and then he was done.
just wait till the next DLC is announced. All right.
Oh, he did. He finally did it. The odds had to be in his favor, right? Putting a lot of up airs out, putting the uppie as well. Esam can't stay above him the way he is. Oh, and is that it? Oh my god, that's actually it. Pikachu got KO'd from the up smash. The shield.
Yeah, please put the shield away. That's a done shield.
Yeah, okay. Oh, he's following, dude. Mars has not gotten hit for so long. Oh, he followed him in Mars with the crazy comeback. He didn't get hit for like 30 seconds.
He's really.
Oh! Finger above Zero Suit Samus in that opportunity. That probably could have been it for Meister.
But I mean,
Mars
he
recognized
went
it.
above and beyond for that one. He's trying to finish the game.
Oh, what?
No!
What? What?
Meister keep getting like the same big combo right at the beginning. Jesus.
He just took 80%. Like, this man literally could not live. And the up smash taking him out. That was so convincing.
Right.
Like, peeping for Inkling in general, too. If you can't get that berry, then, you know, finding your way to kill. As I said that, jumping off the...
For a quick second, I actually thought Cosmos died first.
He uses it to cross him up. I really like the way that Mars is using Flip Kick in general. Just as a placement with the down air, that is the Mars.
Yeah.
We've seen that so many times today.
Yeah, Side B is going to go ahead and take that stock. Cosmos going to have to dig deep. Still,
oh my God, it's worth it! And he stood up knowing that was going to be it with the handshake.
That's not what I meant by dig deep, Cosmos. He went deep and paid dearly for it.
And to dive a little deeper into what went down at Full Bloom 5, we've got Toronto's boy, Aaron Blacktwins Grandison Vargas. What's up, dude?
Hey guys, how's it going? Pleasure to be here.
Oh man. Heck yeah. Let's just start things off. Of course, we got to talk about Mars. This guy's been on an absolute tear as of late with his Zero Suit Samus.
My babe.
Can you just break down what's made this man so hard to beat in the last few tournaments?
I would say one thing Mars is definitely known for is his defense. When he has that going for him, especially when it's a close set with Mars in general, he makes it very hard to hit him. So a lot of the sets you'll see Mars being very able to be composed, able to just makes it so intimidating, especially when he's able to apply so much pressure as well as making it so hard to hit. He's very intimidating with that style, especially with him playing someone that's uncommon, such as Zero Suit Samus, someone that's a little bit different from her previous counterpart. Mars is very daring and bold in terms of how he makes plays. You wouldn't really expect a play from anyone else except for Mars when you see him go for something very, very bold. Like he'll go very off stage. He'll chase you. He'll do a lot of things that are very unexpected. And he's basically, I'd say, the hype man for the tournament a lot of the times because he basically plays for the fans. He'll make a lot of plays that will definitely get you out of your seat.
Yeah, I think I love hype fans because that's why we got Drew here. We need that, Drew?
Oh, absolutely. So I think the thing about Mars is that I feel like Zero Suit Samus's nerfs have actually played into his playstyle. Can you tell me more about Zero Suit Samus in this game and what tools she has in Ultimate?
So Zero Suit, compared from her previous counterpart, she lost a lot of her basically combo tools off of her throws. So now she sort of has to box you out in general. I would say that the hitboxes are a little bit fixed where she can actually sort of hit low profile characters better. She can, she has to be more precise on how she basically has to space her moves, mostly because her neutral is very linear. It's never she's never grounded majority of the time. She's usually in the air. So a lot of time you have to box her out, but because she's so quick with her movement, you sort of have to try to anticipate how she's going to move in towards you or move out. So her bait and punish game, I'd say, is pretty strong in that part. And in terms of pressuring you when you're off stage or in general, can be very intimidating just because one strong hit or one conversion from one of her setups can be very deadly.
Now, I'm just curious if this is a result of just the character, or at this point, are you placing Mars up high? Is he up there with Tweak and MK Leo yet, or is he still got a bit more to prove in your eyes?
I'd say Mars is pretty much up there. I think the only thing that hinders him is Zero Suit. Zero Suit is one of those uncommon characters, again, that you have to play very different compared to other characters like Ike and Wolf, per se, are very up there characters that you don't really need a lot of precision compared to Zero Suit. So Zero Suit, Mars definitely helps boost the character up there and makes the character work I feel like there isn't really any other Zero Suits apart from potentially Nairo, but we don't really see Zero Suit from him mostly, unless it's a last case scenario. So I'd say Mars is, I'd say he's basically top 10 in my eyes. Arguably top 5, but I'd say with the recent results he's getting, he's coming close to becoming like top 5 IMO.
I mean, yeah, I guess you can't argue a couple wins in a row, right? And especially if he gets any more, right?
He's definitely on the hot streak right now.
Yeah.
Especially after being picked up by Panda Global recently. That's a very good pickup for him.
I mean, one of the biggest surprises when we talk about obscure characters is Mr. Game & Watch. I mean, he's not really strong.
My friend would be happy about that. He loves Game & Watch.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really a strong character. Can you tell me more about Mr. Game & Watch and how Meister was able to finish 3rd and nearly beat Mars?
Yeah, he almost took a set, yeah.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate because that SD Game 5, I'm not sure what happened. He just wasn't able to make the recovery back and died very early. That could have been a different ball game if he was able to make it back. But Game & Watch, again, also another uncommon character. From his previous version, he's actually very different. So when I fight him, I actually don't know what he's really doing in general because they changed his moveset almost completely. The way to fight him is basically the same, but if you never fought a Game & Watch before, then the stuff you'll do, he'll definitely throw it off. And Meister, definitely the character expertise with Game & Watch. I'd also say with amazing luck, whenever I see Meister either in person or on stream at a tournament, his luck with the Judgment Hammer, where you get like a 1 to 9, it's crazy.
Whoa.
A lot of times he could just.
Are you calling him lucky?
You got the Water Party luck. I'll say that. I'll be dead honest. I even tell Meister, like, dude, your luck is crazy. He's like, yeah, man.
That's crazy. So like, just watching, he had a good showing, but he had a lot of, SDs at crucial moments. It's just, if he cleans up his play, do you see Game & Watch being a more viable character, or is it maybe just, is he already kind of hitting his ceiling with that character, or will it be a little bit higher?
That's actually really hard to say. Meister, basically, like, probably the best Game & Watch in the world, I would say right now. It's hard to say with the other, his brother from Mexico, Reggie. So they're basically like the top 3 along with another Japanese Game & Watch. But I feel like Meister is low-key probably first, mostly because he gets the most results so far. I feel like he carries Game & Watch like very, very hard. Like he knows the characters ins and outs harder than anyone else. And I feel like he can carry Game & Watch's results to make him look arguably high tier. I think it's also a little bit of character inexperience for everyone else because no one really has Game & Watch in their region. There's very few. Like when you go to a stream, it's very rare that you'll see a Game & Watch at each representative region. So
that's
I'd say he's at least mid-tier at worst, but I feel like he's probably going to be like top 25, top 30. Could be a little bit higher depending on how well Meister is doing.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I know how much you love those top tier characters, but like we didn't see there was a lot of diversity.
I mean, there was no Wolf, there was no Marios, there wasn't even a Swordy, man.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah, each one was a different character. There was Pokemon Trainer, Inkling, Zero Suit, Game & Watch Pikachu,
Yoshi,
Snake,
Mega Man.
Yoshi, Mega Man, yeah.
Yeah,
like Yoshi doesn't really get that much love in this game either, so it's very surprising to see Yoshi in top 8.
Like, what does that say about like the vibe? Is it just people still figuring it out, or is this actually finally a game that's like balanced wide enough that we can see a good diversity of characters, or do you think there is still like in your mind, can you see a meta still developing around like 1 or 2 characters?
I think the meta will be about like top 20 characters mostly, but
that's still not bad.
Yeah, that's really
it's not
good,
really
actually.
surprising that you'll see like more like Lucinas, Palutenas, Olimars, Wolves, Ikes in top 8. Mostly because the way they are fundamentally, it's more successful for them just because of how you can work around with the character compared to someone technical like Zero Suit Samus, Game & Watch, Yoshi. They're sort of uncommon characters that can make it through the top 8, but they'd have a much harder time compared to the pure top tiers.
Now, Drew, like, what's your favorite place? Are you like an aggro person, or do you like the, like, you know, we talked about?
I'm aggro, baby.
Zero
I
Suit,
love going in all day, and that's why I kind of didn't like Zero Suit in this version of the game, because her combo potential in the previous game and her speed was a lot better.
Yeah.
Like, and I can't go in anymore. I gotta play more defensive, but. I don't know how long term I can be if I keep going aggro.
Like, do you see aggro be like just looking forward? I mean, like if someone like Zero Suit is winning tournament, and they're winning first place, is this where we're seeing that meta go again? I mean, a lot of people said in Smash 4 that it was maybe a little bit too slow, but now that they've added changes to make Ultimate faster, you know, some melee guys in that are getting interested too. Are we seeing it go back to that more defensive play style then?
I think right now the game is faster, which is good, especially with how the mechanics work. You're able to pressure more, be a little bit more aggressive. But I'd still say defensive play might beat a wave, mostly because you probably get more out of being defensive than you can be aggressive. Aggressive does have its perks here and there, but in the long run, defensive play usually gets you more reward compared to being aggressive.
Drew's like
I'd say a little bit is also character dependent. I think there's very few certain amount of characters where you can be aggressive and it'll work out. But for the most part, being defensive usually gets you more reward compared to the other way around, I would say.
So I know you're from Toronto, I'm from Toronto, man, and we got some banging Canadians. Do you think any of the Canadians are gonna they're gonna have their come out party like Mistake in Smash 4, or do you think the Toronto scene is it's still finding its footing?
I think Toronto will rise up a little bit. I think it's mostly dependent on how quickly they want to develop themselves as a person and with the tournament experience. I feel like Toronto, if they really want to become a high-level threat, especially when Gommel coming up with the Invaders, if they really want to step it up, I think their passion has to be a little bit higher if they want to raise the stakes for themselves and increase the level of the scene as a whole. I think right now, Riddles, who I usually fight in my region, gets second to me usually. I think he has the best chance to become a rising star, like right off the bat. So I think after, like in Smash 4, it was Mistake, then it was myself. I think with how Ultimate is, Riddles, especially with a character that's uncommon like Belmont's, we don't really see Belmont's that much now compared to in the beginning. But Riddles has that style and aggressive play where he is very calculated and meticulous, where he actually is very enjoyable to watch, and not a lot of people like watching Belmont, as you said. He finds a way to make the aggressive play very entertaining to watch. So I say Riddles is definitely the next up-and-comer for Toronto. And then after that, I would say Brandon, who plays Donkey Kong, very aggressive Donkey Kong. We have a lot of aggressive players as well, so.
That's dope.
Maybe that's just this region. It's
a Toronto thing, baby.
I'm an aggro guy too.
The Mandems are going in.
Into playing like super aggressive and having a fun time with it.
That's true. Hey man, we're out of time, but I appreciate you dropping in, talking to us some Ultimate. Hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully I'll be able to be back on the show. It was a pleasure.
All right, that's enough Ultimate for now. It's time to get one of the greatest creations of all time in my eyes. It's Super Smash Bros. Melee. But before we do, we gotta get to some more highlights.
Eventually, you're gonna get a lead in a matchup like this, where it's just slow ways to find hits. Oh, but he got one big opening. Oh, still alive though, barely caught him DIing out.
Oh, you want that next follow-up.
Oh my God.
Oh, this is a chance.
Oh
my God.
He did it, dude. He just did it.
Wow.
I'm so used to watching like H-Box. Oh, reverse forward air, misses the back air.
No, that was, he ran out of jump too. He's taking a, okay, no, good coverage by Kalin.
If he
in the short, the Shy Guys.
Shy Guys, the forces of nature are protecting Johnny.
Guys, out here.
That actually was so ducks.
Shy Guys out here cock blocking your boy, man.
Quite perfect.
Nice. Estion, man.
Oh.
Knows his stuff.
That was a really...
Oh, I'm still in that. We're not just going to pretend like FD is not a counter defense.
Yo,
Okay.
Johnny stock. Wait a minute, it's Johnny stock. That's a Johnny stock. That's a Johnny stock. Sick grab.
Right, he's in the pinball machine now.
Oh, I like the pinball machine.
Oh, he really got the knee jump. He could have gone up air, and he really had the wherewithal to go knee.
That's kind of what happened in game 2 when SBAT made the comeback.
Oh,
Johnny left the door open for him. Oh, what a fastball.
Oh.
You know what? He went out with style. I'll give him that.
Zane is always, he'll roll up sometimes. He'll just do regular get up early. Oh my God. That was
for good measure and following him. Zane's just a little bit out of range. 3 forward airs. Gets the.
Oh my God.
He's edge canceling everything. Little edge cancel.
Did he?
Oh, he gets the
Who
down
is this
smash.
guy?
What is that?
Ooh, I respect it, but oh no, what? No.
And Zane with the grab. Getting these regrabs. That is not an easy regrab to do, by the way.
Not.
Oh, and oh my God, he bodied him.
He's like, hey, yo, you want to see a dead body? All right, but they're doing a lot of good neutral. Zane with the down tilt into
God. Tip. Oh my God, and Zane is your full bloom 5 winner.
I'm glad you said it.
As soon as you got the grab, Zane is your full bloom 5 winner.
And as you just saw, Zane is indeed your full Bloom 5 winner. Now my question for you, man, is this the guy to beat now? Like when players like Hungrybox aren't competing? Because we had Hungrybox dominating for a while, Armada before that, and now Zane is starting to step it up. And we haven't, we had that 5 God era for Ben. It's over now for sure with Zane in the mix.
With Zane and Plup in the mix.
That's true.
I think Plup is the other player that is the next God in line, because not only does he have a positive record against most of the gods now, he basically dethroned them and retired them. That's why they're playing Ultimate, baby.
Yo, imagine beating someone so bad you make them quit their game.
Oh, absolutely. And they play Ultimate. They become a full-time streamer, baby. That's what happened. That's what Plup did.
So is Plup the guy? Like a lot of people are saying it's Zane, but like, would you argue against him then that Plup is your man to beat, or is it kind of like a double up? Like these are the guys to beat.
I think these are both the guys to beat.
Okay.
Because Zane has improved considerably. He's actually one of the post-documentary players to actually rise up, because most players, Plup has been playing for a long, long time.
Yeah.
They both come from 2 different paths of being a pro player. One player got inspired by the documentary, became super good, and the other guy's just been grinding, and finally found his footing, and now he's a god with Samus and Sheik.
Well, I've seen, wasn't it Zane then that was actually got coached by Armada for a bit as well too? Like people were actually excited for Zane to kind of rise to the top. Like even
I'm
people
excited
like
too, man. He plays my favorite character, Marth, baby.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because in Smash you're the Lucina, right?
Yeah,
you're always a swordie?
I'm always a swordie, baby.
All right.
I love my samurai swords. Shadows don't die twice. But Zane
the ultimate crossover here. Now, I want to move on to an interesting topic here. A friend of the show, Hugs, had an interesting tweet in response. He has a lot of interesting tweets in response to an unpopular opinion on Melee post. He said, with bigger names having more of an interest in other endeavors, the Melee scene won't be held up by people who only concern themselves with grinding and labbing. Players need to put an emphasis on being out there with a personality if they want a thriving scene to partake in. So he's calling out all the Melee players right now that just want to sit and play Melee and say, that's not enough anymore. Do you think Melee needs that? Or is Melee going to thrive just by people going to tournaments? Or do we need people to get out there and show themselves on Twitch and YouTube and have personalities?
I do think when it comes to fighting games in general, there needs to be an ecosystem of content creating. And I think he's absolutely correct that players have to be a little more sociable.
Yeah.
That's just a little bit. I want to know what I want to know your personality, man.
Build those brands.
Yeah, you gotta build your brand, and I think he's right about that. I do think if Melee needs to survive, it does need a content streaming ecosystem, and one of the best ways to do it is getting yourself on Twitch, having personality, making sure you look a little decent, instead of having the mushroom cut. You gotta
call it out the fashion again.
Absolutely, baby, absolutely. We are on fire with this. But yeah, no, every game that survives has that ecosystem.
Yeah.
There's a perpetual news cycle, and with that content creating, there will be in that news cycle.
But Melee's made it this far really without it so far. Do you not think they could keep doing it? Well, I guess they had a bit of WWE
I
in
disagree.
there.
I disagree
Okay.
because we had great personalities like Mango,
Yeah,
great personalities
fair,
that
fair.
also foil to them like Armada, Hungry Box, and you also have Leffen. Come on, the greatest disturber of all
Yeah,
time,
that's
and
true.
the greatest heel.
The God Killer.
He's an
yeah.
awesome heel.
Is what?
He's an awesome heel. You like wrestling?
Yeah.
He's definitely Brock Lesnar. He's definitely a
straight
Roman.
up, they were. There was one time I remember. I think it was EVO 2015. Mango got upset with his placing and threw his medal out into the audience.
Yeah, and
but people remember that.
You need that personality.
Yeah.
That's what really. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna remember that sick Jigglypuff KO you did, which by the way doesn't exist.
What? Yo, we're about to have some debates in a bit.
But what I do remember is your personality. I do remember when you popped off. I do remember when you got excited for something. I do remember when you fell and you lost your power and all that. And I that's.
I'm just imagining some guy tripping and just actually all his power.
I mean, we call that brawl, right?
Yeah. that was a dark time in Smash. So who's kind of like the guy right now? Because like we see some of these other guys dropping out, moving to streaming in that, the Mangos and all that. But we need other people to fill their place in tournaments. Who's kind of the guys you're rallying behind? Is there anybody that we can like jump on board? Like this is going to be our next personality?
I truly think it's going to be Plup.
I was going to say I'm kind of on the Plup board.
Plup is not only streaming and not only
hands.
playing other. He's really handsome. He's got pretty eyes. I love his eyes. But he's actually he's streaming. He's playing Ultimate too. But he actually does have a bit of a personality. I would love to see not only just Smash, but every FGC person show a little more personality and get into content creating, right? Because that's how you're gonna actually keep your game alive. How can you become the accessibility point to making casual viewers get into your game?
Well, no, you're right. I guess, and as you said, with all the money going in all these other esports, people are going to forget about it eventually, except for that core group. If you want to keep growing, I think he's absolutely right. I think we're on board with that one.
Absolutely,
that's for sure.
baby.
Now, I had a bit of an issue with what you just said a minute ago, because anytime Jigglypuff does well in any kind of tournament, people are getting upset right now.
Ban that character. Why would you ban Bobbly? Ban that character.
You are on the ban Puff?
Oh no, I am not on the ban Puff.
Oh, okay,
I want
good.
I want every Puff. I want 8-man Puff tournaments. I want to sit there 6
All
hours a
Puff
day.
Dittos?
Absolutely.
I sense a bit of no. It's because you want to get them out of the other bracket, right?
Absolutely. You gotta keep it entertaining.
Do you think people are like actually getting serious about this now, or is it more of just a meme thing at this point? Like, I feel like there's some people that actually hate this character.
Honestly,
like,
I see both sides of the coin, man. I see some people they're super excited. They want that character banned, and I see other people they're like, get good, dude.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I got it. Full disclaimer. I'm a dirty Puff main.
Oh, I know you are, baby. You are a dirty Puff man. You're lame.
But like, I love it. And to me, it was one of the coolest things in Melee with watching Hungry Box single-handedly define the meta for multiple years. One man was able to change the entirety of the meta and how every other player had to play the game. Like, that's incredibly exciting.
If you really want to know my take on it, a lot of people have to understand lane play is a skill. It takes a lot of skill to be that good at being so patient. Yeah, because you're threading a needle, right? Like you're not being a gorilla just pouncing around the jungle.
Yeah.
You're literally being like that samurai, just getting ready.
You're going back to you've been playing out Sekiro.
Absolutely, I love Sekiro, baby. We get that samurai. You gotta make that slice, you know?
Yeah, but it's like I think you're absolutely right. Like I mean, Mango's play style for the longest time played off of just his unpredictability and emotion, right? And it worked, but now it's not. And I'm wondering if like people just need to wake up to the fact that get woke, folks.
Get good.
You need to wake up that like this is the meta now. Like you're gonna have to get used to it. Like any other game. What fighting games have there been any character bans in the past?
Not
many.
Not many. In Street Fighter 2 Turbo, we had to ban Akuma just because he could beat the entire cast by making them not play the game. He had a fireball lock, right?
Gotcha.
So he had an air fireball lock.
So he's actually like broken.
Yeah, he's actually truly broken. Other than that, we're not gonna ban nothing.
Yeah, no, you go with it. Well, Melee can't get patched, but like if it ain't to the point of like, absolute breakage. Like again, Wobbling's the closest one, but usually there are bans you can't go past 200%, right?
I have a take on that.
All right.
Name me an ice climber that has placed top 8 in the last 2 years.
That's a good point.
I ain't seen no wobbly, baby.
That's a good point. Wobbling is I don't think nothing should be banned. Melee should be pure. But we got to move on.
Open market, baby.
Yeah, we talked about Street Fighter a bit there, so I do want to mention we have some business to take care of here. There was a Street Fighter tournament that also happened this past weekend, the FE Cup X SEA Major, which is the first ranking event actually in the CPT. I want to just get your thoughts on that. Who stood out to you first and foremost here?
I'm glad to see Fujimura back on top, baby, winning, because he was my pick last year in Capcom Cup, and he almost made it. Second place, reset the bracket. But I'm glad to see him do really well because his character got a little minor tweaks. A lot of players started dropping her just because, you know, they hate seeing a nerf, but the nerfs weren't that substantial.
So the second it gets nerfed, everyone's like, nah, I'm out.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. They're very finicky. You know how FGC people are.
Yeah,
we finicky, baby.
But at the same time, it's like I do know some people that like kind of stick to their characters and end up doing well with it. Like, shouldn't that be more of a shouldn't the fighting game players be doing that? Like,
well, that's what Fujimura is doing. He's actually one of the best bookies. He's one of the few people that has creative combos with her, showing that this very linear and volatile game has some creativity, and I like that about him.
Well, I know your answer to this because I already know that you are a top-tier enthusiast. But like, do you think it's better to just stick with that character at least in this game? So just strict Street Fighter right now, no other games. In this game, should people be sticking or should they be jumping around right now?
You know what? It really does depend on the actual patch notes. For example. Like Akuma got nerfed, but Tokido managed to be the most consistent player in Season 3 with Akuma.
Yeah, we had a bit of a rough period though, did we not?
Oh, and he did. That last tail end of his Capcom Cup run was not so good. He got bodied.
Now is that due to him sticking with the character?
I just think the level of play globally has risen. So the game's even more volatile, and by nature the game's volatile. Like, what can you do? Right?
So it's just 50. So at that top level, then it's like
anyone can beat each other.
Yeah. It just seems like to be almost like a 50-50, is it? Or like, what is it to take to get to that top level? Because like, we do see consistency in the top 8s.
Yes, we do.
Right. So it's like, what does it take? They're doing something consistently that does work and isn't a 50-50.
Generally, it's just the global talent of top players are more spread apart. So because they can't play each other all the time, they're not going to be able to figure each other out so often.
Kind of
so it's a little volatile because of that. Another reason why it's also volatile is because, like I said, with globalization, with the Capcom Pro Tour being taking place in many other cities other than the USA, there's a lot of top players popping up here and there, and it just goes to show that every player is getting better, every region's getting stronger, and I just hope this continues on through the next season and through the next game.
Yeah, we got a lot more CPT in the future, but we have one more order of business here. We got to talk your player of the week. And I think I can probably mind you right now and think out what it is, but I'm going to let you say it. Player of the week.
It's Mars. It's
straight up,
It's
right?
Mars. Mars has won Collision and Full Bloom 5 back-to-back like he was on the cover of Lethal Weapon. Back-to-back like he was Jordan 96 and 97.
That's brilliant. So you think you keep it up though? I mean, these games, as you said, even with Street Fighter and that, like the talent pool's getting bigger. Do you think like he'll be able to keep this up with more and more people playing?
I think his name is in the mix for the top players, like MK Leo, like Tweak. And the reason why is because this dude didn't go to Summit. How did he level up so much? Why did he beat everybody in these past two weekends, right? And I think it's because
hyperbolic time chamber.
Absolutely.
He took some time in there.
Absolutely. He definitely went in there. And while everybody was having fun at Summit, he was grinding away. And he's another top talent. I think he's going to find his footing, and I think he's just going to be, he might not win the next tournament, but if he does, it's going to be another feat. We'll be talking about him again.
Oh, that'll be nuts.
That'll be crazy,
to do
right?
3, especially, again, as you said, with other players like MK Leo and Tweak and all that. So I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, that is all the time we have right now. Drew, today on Esports in 30. Thanks to Blacktwins for joining us, and all of you, of course, for watching. Join us tomorrow as we go cover some Dota 2 from Dream League Season 11. Until then, follow us on all our socials, and we'll see you guys soon. Chew!
I love it when Judy talks Smash. They're just so good at it. Remember, we're back here tomorrow starting at 1 p.m. Eastern with gameplay live from the green room, and then again at 8 p.m. Eastern with more Unmuted, a new Rank It about the 5 worst Pokemon designs. That should be good. And in Esports in 30, we're talking Dota. Till then, you can check us on all of our socials at Squad State and our YouTube channel where we have all the VODs. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.